In 1981, a veteran named Gizagu is out fishing on the Red Crow Indian Reservation. Upon his return, he begins cleaning the fish, only to be astonished when he notices they are moving, despite being gutted. Meanwhile, Sheriff Trailer gets called to check on a dog belonging to his ex-wife. He finds out that the dog has been poisoned, prompting him to shoot it to end its suffering. Afterward, Trailer pays a visit to his ex-wife Joss, who informs him that their son Joseph has been arrested and can only be released under his father's supervision. As Trailer gets in his car, he receives a call from the station about a man who has been caught eating live chickens. He learns that Joseph's half-brother Lysol has also been arrested alongside him, and Gizago reached out because he's afraid of something. Trailer visits his father, who shows him a box filled with the supposedly dead fish that are still alive. They decide to burn the fish, and while doing so, they notice movement coming from a car trunk. When they open the trunk, the dog they just shot lunges out and attempts to attack, but Trailer quickly reacts and shoots it again. They then burn both the fish and the dog together to prevent them from coming back. Meanwhile, in prison, Joseph and Lysol hear their cellmate vomiting in a corner. Initially, they dismiss him as just a drunk, but suddenly, the white man yaks up a significant amount of blood. Outside, Trailer and Joss arrive to take their boys home, but when an officer mentions that Trailer gets arrested more often than a street worker, Joss decides to wait in the car. The officer explains that Joseph's arrest was due to him climbing a bridge and defecating on a passing car. The officer and Trailer head to the cell to free the boys, only to find their cellmate passed out on the floor. Suddenly, the man awakens with white eyes and attacks the officer, showcasing immense strength as he overpowers him. Trailer rushes in to help, but when Joseph tries to intervene, he gets bitten. The deranged man then leaps onto the police officer, attempting to bite him as well, leading to a struggle where the officer furiously fights back with his baton until the man goes unconscious again. Trailer drags the furious officer out of the cell, securing the door behind him. Before long, the creepy inmate wakes up and pounds on the door, so Trailer decides to leave with the boys. Later, Joseph meets his girlfriend Charlie, who is pregnant and contemplating abortion. She hasn't told her father yet because he disapproves of her relationship with an indigenous man. The couple holds hands and chooses to keep the baby. In the hospital, Joss begins her nursing shift and notices a shortage of tetanus vaccines, which raises concerns. A coworker mentions an overwhelming number of patients with bite wounds. Suddenly, Joss hears a commotion and ventures into the hallway, witnessing people running away and a patient attacking a doctor. Later that evening, Trailer visits his friend Sugar's house since he's been acting unusually. He rushes upstairs only to be horrified to find a white woman feasting on her own baby. The moment she spots Trailer, she lunges at him, biting his arm. Despite his efforts to push her away, she keeps returning, but eventually, Trailer finds an escape route and bolts outside. The woman follows him out, pouncing on Sugar and biting him as well. They wrestle until Trailer finally grabs a shotgun and bludgeons the woman to death. Once that's done, the men head out in the police car. Trailer contacts the station and learns that his father has discovered some bizarre occurrences, and Joss has left a message warning him not to get bitten. Upon arriving at the hospital, they find a dead man lying on top of the ambulance who is on the verge of awakening. However, Joss appears and shoots him. Joseph is trapped inside the ambulance with a patient behind him who also begins attacking. After Joseph gets bitten again, Trailer shoots the door open, allowing Joseph to kick his attacker out. The woman then transforms and tries to assault Trailer, at which point Bumper arrives wielding a chainsaw and decapitates her. The group then meets Gizago at the bridge to incinerate the bodies as he explains that the dead are rising again. Fast forward 6 months, society has broken down, revealing that the previously mentioned attacks stemmed from zombies, signifying the onset of the apocalypse. Yet, Trailer and his crew seem to be faring well despite the bites due to the indigenous tribe's immunity. Now, the Red Crow Reservation has been fortified. Moose and deer are safe to consume, but all aquatic sources remain hazardous. At the compound, Lysol is mocking a zombie soldier he has hung up with chains. He is interrupted by Joseph, who brings in 3 white survivors: Lilith, her father, and a young girl. Lysol inspects the girl and finds that her father had concealed a bite, so he strikes the man with his weapon. After reprimanding Joseph for not being thorough, Lysol orders the man to take action against his daughter, or he will. Charlie intervenes, asking the man if he would kill her baby if it were to be born sick as well. When Lysol asserts that he would, Joseph retaliates with a punch. A heated argument follows until Trailer intervenes, reprimanding them for their quarrel and declaring they need to eliminate the girl. Charlie tries to explain to the father why they have no choice, leading him and Lilith to be escorted inside. Bumper carries a large axe but feels remorse over the necessity of killing a child. As the girl turns into a zombie, Trailer swiftly takes the axe and executes her. Inside the compound, the father is instructed to set the blanket on fire soaked with the child's blood. Joss interviews Lilith, who insists she's been neither bitten nor eaten human flesh. However, after entering the bathroom, she checks her reflection and discovers a hidden bite mark. Suddenly, she hears a commotion and finds her father has committed suicide and is now reviving as a zombie. Trailer and his team strategize new methods to protect the compound as the zombie population increases daily. They already have guards positioned on the walls to shoot them down, and the buildup of corpses is accelerating faster than they can burn them. At the bridge, Bumper is maintaining the blockade using a harvester that shreds zombies without expending ammunition. Living humans are also becoming an issue. Upon hearing of the tribe's immunity, they continue to flock to the reservation seeking refuge, putting a strain on resources. Their most urgent need is gasoline. The meeting is interrupted by word of the zombie father in the restroom. Trailer retrieves his machete and goes to dispatch the creature. Later that evening, Charlie opens up to Joseph about Lysol's progressively unstable condition post-apocalypse. She confesses that the other residents treat her poorly, suspecting that her baby might become a zombie since she's white. Joseph reassures her that his blood will grant the baby immunity. Trailer visits Joss for treatment of a wound inflicted by a zombie, and they discuss their soon-to-arrive grandchild. It's revealed that Trailer bears many scars, earned through his battles against zombies. Afterwards, Lysol voices his concerns about the growing number of white individuals being permitted in the compound. He argues that they may tire of being subjugated by the indigenous people and could potentially turn against them, mentioning that one deceitful individual could unleash the zombie contagion within their refuge. Trailer, Joseph, and Gazagu continue to support saving lives, while Joss sides with Lysol. Frustrated by the criticism, Lysol throws a party at his house, featuring alcohol, marijuana, and stimulants provided by a dealer. He apologizes to Joseph for threatening the unborn child, but Joss believes the substances are affecting his judgment. Lysol recounts a story from a day he engaged in intimate acts with a woman, unaware she was on her period, when he receives a phone call from friends in need of bail. In a rush, Lysol heads to the station, and the police, noticing blood on his mouth, arrest him. The dealer then presents a theory, suggesting that the zombie plague isn't divine retribution but rather Earth retaliating against humanity for its mistreatment of the planet. Moments later, Joseph hears screams and rushes to aid his brother, only to find zombified Lilith feasting on Lysol's genitals. Meanwhile, Gazagu, Trailer, Shooker, and Bumper explore an abandoned garage for fuel. Bumper sets up a rope at the door and knocks, prompting a zombie to trip and fall, giving Trailer a chance to shoot it. Inside, he discovers bodies scattered throughout. Suddenly, a zombie drops down in front of him, but Trailer quickly eliminates it, only to realize it was already deceased. He presses on and finds his father has already cleared out the zombies inside. Back to Joseph. He's trying to drag his injured brother to Joss for treatment, but Lysol insists they must raise the alarm. As he embraces Joseph to apologize, it's a ruse to stab his brother, blaming him for the influx of outsiders. Lysol and the dealer then unleash Lilith onto the compound to infect as many white people as possible. Joseph suffers a wound and hastily retreats to the dorms, shutting the door just in time to hear chaos erupt outside. Joss urges everyone to remain calm and reminds them of the emergency exit, but a frightened individual bursts through the front door, only to be immediately killed, his blood pooling beneath the door. Shortly after, Trailer's group returns to find the compound overrun with zombies. They use the radio to contact Joss, who informs them she's hiding in the basement with the remaining survivors. Shooker opens the front gate while Bumper distracts the zombies with loud music from the car, prompting them to follow him away from the compound. Aware of a larger threat, Trailer instructs Shooker to retrieve the truck while Gazaga dispatches a crawling zombie with his sword. They make their way into the dorm building, dispatching more zombies at the entrance before proceeding to the basement. Inside, they discover Joss and Joseph struggling to keep a door closed against a horde of undead. Gazaga slashes their arms to enable Trailer to lock the door with his knife. The survivors are told to flee outside since the truck awaits, just as Charlie experiences contractions. At that moment, the zombies manage to break through the door, leaving Trailer no choice but to open fire. The noise attracts additional zombies in the area, leading Gazago to instruct Shooker to drive away with the survivors. Amidst the chaos, two individuals tumble from the truck and are subsequently devoured by the zombies. Trailer pulls Joss, Joseph, Gazago, and Charlie into a corridor towards the emergency exit, recognizing that the door won't withstand the undead for long, and he tells his family to leave without him. On the count of 3, Gazago flings the door open to reveal Bumper waiting in a vehicle. Unfortunately, the zombies manage to overpower Trailer, who is brutally overwhelmed while Joss attempts to hold onto him, but Gazago physically drags her away. The family hastily escapes in the car while Trailer succumbs on the stairs. In the following scene, Lysol, the dealer, and his cohorts have captured all the white survivors and a zombie. They compel one woman to request assistance over the radio, fabricating a tale of a church massacre. After Gazaga vows to help, Lysol terminates the woman by allowing the zombie to consume her. The next morning, the dealer prepares to incinerate all the survivors, but is promptly interrupted when Gazaga decapitates him with a sword. Outside, Joss assists Charlie through childbirth while Bumper stands guard, but he gets fatally impaled by Lysol. Lysol then drags Charlie from the car before opening another vehicle's trunk to unleash a zombie. Joss hurriedly fires her weapon, but her shots miss, and she runs out of ammunition. The zombie attacks Charlie, inflicting a bite on her neck just as Joseph arrives and dispatches the creature. Afterward, Gazaga orders Joseph to inflict punishment on his brother with a dagger. Before receiving the stabs, Lysol confesses he let Lilith into the fold intentionally, drawing inspiration from Joseph's relationship with Charlie. At that moment, Gazaga shoots into the air, drawing the attention of the zombies, who rush to consume Lysol while he's still alive. The family continues on foot, eventually reaching the shore, only to find the boat ablaze. Fortunately, Shooker arrives on another boat, explaining he heard the gunfire. Joss, Charlie, and Joseph prepare to escape, but Gazaga opts to remain behind. After a touching farewell with his grandson, Gazaga begins to fend off the approaching zombies. He manages to kill several but ultimately becomes overwhelmed by the massive horde that soon consumes him. Charlie gives birth to a healthy daughter. Joseph insists that she should hold the baby, but Charlie hesitates, worried about her potential transformation. After giving the infant to Joss, Charlie pleads for mercy, and Joseph is left with no option but to shoot her. As the baby cries out, Joseph suffers a breakdown. Please don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.